Okay, so I haven't uploaded a video of my face in quite some time. I do think I'm looking a lot better than I liked. That's not why I'm making this video, or really giving a shit about my voice. I've gotten better about that. What I am making this video about has to do with, uh, okay, I've got some OPSEC things that it actually has my legal name, which is not the name I go by, but, opened the mail, and this is going to be rambly, of course, for the first part, because build up. I went to check the mail today. It's a Saturday. Got the usual medical bill stuff that I can't take care of until fucking Monday at the earliest, because they're not open on the weekends. So, among all that, I have this very interesting, 2021 National Survey of Christians. Now, for those of you who don't know me very well, you might wonder what the thing is. Those of you that have my friends for years, you have to understand why this amuses the shit out of me. I've been an agnostic since my father passed away back in, God, like 13, 14 years ago? No, 16 years ago. You would think I remember the exact year and day, but after a while, it just kind of sucks. Beside the point, no, I'm not really a Christian. So, this big honking piece of, yeah, whatever. Hopefully that wasn't quick enough that it'll show. Anyway, so this is a whole document. It's got a tracking code and all this stuff. And so I had to take a look. So what do we have? We have a envelope from the Faith and Freedom Coalition for the 2022 midterm elections project to defeat the radical left's assault on Christians and America. And they sent this to me. Oh, whoa. It gets worse. Which means it's more amusing to me in the short term. In the long run, fuck these guys. So, let's see. They give me a survey, but they also have this 4 pages, 2021 National Opinion Survey of 1 million Christian Americans concerning the war on Christians by today's Democrat Party. Again, you can see why this would amuse the shit out of me. Faith and Freedom Coalition, giving Christians a voice in government, 2.2 million members and supporters. Dear me, because you were a patriotic Christian who votes regularly in elections. That's the first thing about this thing they've gotten right. I have voted pretty consistently in most elections. Democrat. I wanted to be sure to include your answers in the enclosed survey of a million Christian Americans concerning the war on Christians by today's Democrat Party. You can share the results of a survey this enormous will be studied carefully by America's elected leaders in government and will receive wide media attention. I hope you'll just take a few minutes of your time to Brian, and when you return this survey, I hope you also include your best gift of support to help Faith and Freedom. So, yeah, on the back, on the survey, right. It suggests, oh, cool, I can flash this, I think. Let me go over this. Yeah, it suggests including a donation of 20, 50, 100, my best gift, or, and this is fucking outlined. That's probably reversed. $26.43. This is the average gift needed to fund this effort if every Christian patriot who receives this letter contributes. So let's go back to this thing, because I got to bring it up. You know what's at stake in 2022. If the left were to win an additional seat or two in the Senate and keep control of the House to go along with their control of the presidency, they'll have the votes they need to push through their radical, anti-Christian, anti-America social agenda. The American Republic will then be over forever as the land of the free. We're all disappointed by what transpired in the presidential election, but we have to get up off the mat and fight with everything we have to save our country. 2022 midterm elections are coming fast. Campaigns for House and Senate are full swing. The hard work we are doing. Victory or defeat in 2022. My name's Dr. Ralph Reed. I'm the founder and chairman of Faith and Freedom Coalition. Founded in 2009 to make sure America's Christians have a strong voice. Right? I'm sure you've seen the anti-Christian bigotry and even the violence that the Democratic Party is encouraging. They no longer. Today's Democrat Party is no longer the party of JFK, who was openly religious. He was also pro-life, patriotic, very anti-communist. Do you know anyone who's legitimately communist in this day and age? I fucking don't. Like, no one I know is a card-carrying member. Let's see. What was this? Let's see. As I think you well know, the Democratic Party leadership war on Christians is becoming more intense. Just recently, prominent Democrats in Congress presented a 28-page document to the Biden-Harris White House that demands the Biden administration use government power to crack down on conservative Christians, remove Christians from public office, and re-educate Trump voters so you're no longer a threat to society. So you want them to remain a threat to society. This document and again, they're bitching about Hillary Clinton in 2016. Laws have to be backed up with resources, and political and deep-seated religious beliefs have to be changed. In other words, Clinton, if she had been elected president, was pledging to use the full power of the U.S. government to try to force Catholics and all Christians. Why are you distinguishing Catholics from other Christians? Oh my God, and now they're talking about the Sweet Cakes Bakery in Oregon that was forced to pay restitution for not wanting to make a same-sex wedding cake. 2 men being arrested for reading the Bible outside the DMV. I want to see this thing about the mayor of Houston, Texas, as part of her campaign of intimidation against Christians, issued subpoenas. She subpoenaed priests and pastors demanding to turn over sermons to see if they were making comments about politics or public policy. Kamala Harris praised the riots. You're not specifying what type of riots, and I'm pretty sure that was the Black Lives Matter stuff. Bitching about AOC. I'm sorry if this is boring. I mean, I'm partly reading this, but the moment I'm like, you know what, I'm going to wait till I'm about to wind down and read this just for the fucking hell of it. They're comparing this anti-Christian bigotry to the brown shirts of Hitler. And Democrat Party's coming out. No. So that's this very. I will eventually get to the survey. I just want to read the rest of this fucking spiel. It's 4 pages. Quit fucking calling him President Trump. He wasn't fucking president as far as we're legitimately concerned. And it's 2021. Hell, it's past 2020. He's no longer a big cop shit on King Mountain or whatever. I want to stop the blue wing. You shot off. And then instead of losing 2 cents. So yeah, our full focus is on the 2022 midterm congressional elections. If the radical left gains 2 to 3 more Senates and keeps the House, they've told us what they plan to do. First, 4 new far left senators. You don't know that for sure, but probably because it's the GOP is the part of the old white man. Turning Democrat, D.C. and Puerto Rico into states. Expand the seats of the Supreme Court. It's not a set number. Flood America with tens of millions of migrants from the third world so they can create tens of millions of new voters for socialism. You're right. Let's hope a conservative never becomes president again. At least I never fucking mentioned Fox News on this shit. You want 6 million new voters. Cost about $3.75 for each Christian voter we register. This means they have to raise $22.5 million to hit our goal of 6 million, but we need to do no. Please don't spend more than a few seconds on each question in your survey. Your initial response to each question will be more accurate and helpful. Okay, so that's it for their spiel. Let's look at this fancy schmancy fucking thing. Because the question, I read one question, I'm like, okay, I gotta fucking resume. So, survey due by within 5 days of receipt. Area representing my specific city in my state of Georgia. We will share the results of the survey with the president and vice president, members of the House and Senate. They don't specify who. Governors and state lawmakers. They don't specify who. Federal judges, including Supreme. Most expensive water bottle ever. I'll get into that if I feel like it. Federal judges, including Supreme Court justices, thousands of American pastors and Christian leaders, and the media, including reporters, news producers, news editors. It's probably all going to be Fox. Instructions. Please mark the answers that come closer to your point of view. Leave questions blank you prefer not to answer. So you're not... If you don't answer in a survey, they tend to throw that shit out. I did marketing for a year. Issue summary. America's founding document, our Declaration of Independence, says this. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. First, I know this is not very professional, but I need to double check this. All this time I thought it was inalienable rights. Anyway, question number 1. Do you think America's founders believed our liberties to be unalienable because they're granted to us by God or by government? Our liberties are unalienable because they're granted by God, by the government, not sure, or other. They believe by God. I'm going to give them that. Prominent Democrat leaders in Congress presented a 28-page document to Biden White House that demands the administration use government power to crack down on Christians, remove Christians, and re-educate. How concerned are you about this development? Not fucking concerned. I support this. No, I'll give you that fourth option. At the DNC, God was left out of the Pledge of Allegiance during at least 2 official meetings. I think they did it intentionally because we didn't have God on there until like the 1950s when most of the GOP was still alive and afraid of the communists. Issue summary. During her confirmation hearings, Judge Amy Coney Barrett was attacked for her faith by top. Disdainful Dick Durbin disdainfully asked, do you consider yourself an Orthodox Catholic? Then Democrat Senator Dianne Feinstein sneeringly told Judge Barrett, the dogma lives loudly within you. What's my reaction to the top openly attacking? I'm going to go with other, which is usually also something else that they don't like you to answer on the surveys. Sean King called for destroying all statues and art of Jesus in churches, calling these statues of Jesus church symbols of white supremacy. I want to get a quote on that. Because burning churches and all that, that doesn't seem right. The options are horrible, frightening, I support his statement, no opinion. Oh, this is a hell of a lot. Issue summary. Over the span of a few days of rioting in last summer, St. Patrick's Cathedral was vandalized and they busted a 90-year-old statue of Jesus. AOC called the statue of Father Damien of Molokai in the Capitol an example of patriarchy and white supremacist culture. I know this is... Wow, this is already over almost 15 minutes. Let's see. How concerned I am about the radical left's acts of arson and vandalism against historic. That's a loaded question because I don't think the left was the one fucking doing all the rioting. I'm fine with Harris thinking the riots and whatnot are responsible for getting this country to go better. How concerned am I that the anti-Christian... That's not... What? How concerned are you that the anti-Christian of today's Democrat Party leadership is inciting an increase in violence? They're not attacking you because you're Christian or religious. I mean, that seems to be incidental to the overall thing. In most democratic states, during churches were not permitted to meet, but rioting, looting... No, they weren't encouraged. You think Democrat? Do you think Democrat governments use COVID-19 as an excuse to prevent Christians from attending church? No! That had nothing to do with that. This is about, let's see. How likely do you think it is that the White House administration will follow through with calls by Democrat leaders in Congress to use the Department of Justice, the IRS, and the full power to punish, harass, and bully Christians into silence? I don't think they're going to do it because you're Christian. I think they're going to do it because your fucking hate groups are hiding behind religion. Do I feel like it's dangerous to be a Christian in America? God, no. I realize the irony in saying God there, but fuck, there you have it. What is my opinion of Faith and Freedom's Coalition view that the left's relevance? I don't agree with this. No, I'm not sending you a fucking gift. And yeah, that's the fucking bullshit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call them up and I'm gonna laugh their fucking face about them sending this to me. Alright, now to send this off to YouTube.